Title: At a party, we played a game. My wife got drunk and picked truth. I asked, "What's your darkest fantasy?" She giggled and said, "I can't say it. Come on, don't be shy." Start: It started as a joke. A circle of friends, a few bottles of wine, and a game we were all too old to be playing. Truth or dare? When it was her turn, my wife of 20 years, laughed, cheeks flushed from the alcohol. She picked truth. I asked, "What's your darkest fantasy?" Just teasing her, that's all it was. She giggled, "Oh, come on, don't make me say it." Someone shouted, "Rules are rules." She leaned in close, so close I could smell the sweetness of her breath, and whispered it against my ear. What she said didn't make sense at first. Then it did, and it hollowed me out from the inside. I didn't react, not there, not in front of our friends. I laughed it off, clinked my glass, and smiled through the noise. But something inside me ended. 20 years. 2 decades of routines that felt like trust. Morning coffee, shared looks, the same side of the bed, the quiet knowing. We met young, built a life from nothing. 2 kids, a home, a circle of friends who'd known us since before the wrinkles set in. I thought I knew her better than I knew myself. I used to joke that she was my anchor. Now I realize anchors don't just keep you steady, they also drag you down. That night after the party, I drove home alone. Packed my things. She texted, called, begged. I ignored it. I didn't want an explanation. I wanted silence. But silence has a way of breeding questions. A week later, my daughter called. Her voice trembled. "Dad, you need to know something. I'm tired of hiding." That's when the floor split beneath me. She told me about the man. Not just any man, my best friend. The same one who'd laughed the loudest at the party. It wasn't a one-time mistake, it was years. Vacations, weekends when I thought she was visiting her sister. They even used my car once. And my daughter, God, she'd seen them. She'd been old enough to understand, too young to tell me. They'd made her promise to keep the secret for the family's sake. That call changed me. Grief curdled into something sharper. Something colder. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I smiled when she called, pretended I just needed space. "We'll figure it out," I told her. She believed me. Of course she did. She'd always believed I'd never fight back. I started with her phone. She reused passwords. Within a week, I had the messages. Pictures, videos. He'd sent her gifts, money, even used our joint account for a hotel suite. I transferred every cent from that account into a new one under my name. Quietly, legally. Next came the house, refinanced under me, thanks to some business concerns. She signed what I asked her to, smiling, relieved I was trying. Meanwhile, I contacted his wife, a woman I barely spoke to beyond small talk. Turns out she'd suspected for years. She just didn't have proof. I gave her everything. Every file, every photo, every timestamp. Together, we planned something neither of them would see coming. 2 months later, we threw a dinner party. The same group of friends, the same house, even the same playlist. She wore red, her confident dress. He wore that smug grin that used to pass for charm. They thought they'd survived it. Halfway through dinner, I stood up, tapped my glass. The room went quiet. "I want to show you all something," I said. I'd set up a slideshow, our family memories, I called it. Photos of vacations, birthdays, laughter. Then it shifted. Texts, screenshots, pictures. Her face when she realized what was happening, pure panic. His, frozen disbelief. His wife stood up, shaking, and said, "Recognize this hotel room?" The room went silent except for my wife's sobbing. "I thought about handling this quietly," I said. "But then I realized you both loved attention. You earned this." He tried to stand, stammering something about privacy. I looked at him. "You took that from me the day you touched her." He left first. She followed, crying, begging. The door slammed behind them. The silence that followed wasn't awkward, it was relief. The next morning I filed for divorce. Everything was already prepared. She lost the house, most of the savings. He lost his wife, his business reputation. Turns out she was the one with the real connections. I didn't block her number. I wanted her to keep sending those late-night apologies, those rambling messages about how it wasn't what it looked like. Every time my phone buzzed, it reminded me of control, of how quiet revenge can be when it's done right. People say closure comes from forgiveness. They're wrong. Closure comes from truth, from watching the mask slip, from knowing they'll live with the taste of their own poison. My daughter visits me often now. We talk, really talk. She says she feels lighter. So do I. Sometimes I replay that night in my head, the laughter, the whisper, the way my world collapsed in one breath. But I also remember the night I stood in that room, calm, steady, and ended 20 years of lies with the flick of a projector remote. That was the moment I realized something simple, something final. I wasn't the fool she thought I was. I was the man who let her hang herself with her own truth. And when the lights went out, I didn't just walk away. I freed myself.